morning students. Today we discuss about 11th commerce lesson number 25. So in this video we discuss about the international business. First we discuss about the meaning, definition and the concept of international business. Today business is growing globally and the need for profit is pushing a large number of business firms into world market beyond their historical and traditional boundaries. So a global corporation is gaining an increasing acceptance in the business community compared to corporations operating within the geographic limit of a country. And international business involve transaction across the national boundaries. It includes the transfer of goods, service, technology, managerial knowledge, and capital to other countries. So even though business has been conducted on an international scale for many years, international business has gained more significance only in recent years because of the emergence of multinational corporations in some of the developing countries. International business denotes all those business activities which take place beyond the geographic limits of the country. So, while doing the business in worldwide, it is called as international business. So, it involves not only the international movements of goods and services, but also capital, personnel, technology, and intellectual property like patent, trademark, know-how, and copyright. The author Roger Bennett defined international business involve commercial activities that cross national frontiers. So all commercial activities which are dealt in worldwide is called as international business. Next one is method of conducting international business. So first point is exporting and importing. So by way of exporting denotes selling of goods and services from home country to foreign country. Similarly, importing refers to purchasing of goods from foreign country to the home country. So by this way we can conduct international business. We can running international business. Contract manufacturing or outsourcing. It connotes a type of international business where a firm enters into a contract with one or a few local manufacturers in foreign countries in order to get certain components of goods produced according to the specifications. So it is also called as outsourcing. That is, we can take the business from the foreign country in order to do some type of technical methods of business. It is called outsourcing. Licensing and franchising. Licensing is a contractual agreement wherein one firm grants access to its plans, trade secrets and technology to another firm in a foreign country for a fee called royalty. So by way of royalty, we can give the business units to some other people, whether foreign country or within the nation from the foreign country. That type of giving the agreement to run the business to others is called as franchising and licensing. Joint venture. A joint venture is a business agreement wherein parties agree to develop a new entity and assets, subscribing to equity shares and thereby exercising control over enterprise and consequently sharing revenues, expenses and assets. So it can be established under three different ways. So joint venture is one of the agreement business made by two or more persons in order to make contribution and take share of the profits, and they will share all the revenues, expenses and assets of the business. Foreign investors buying an interest in local company. So local firm acquiring an interest in the existing foreign firm. Both the foreign and local firm jointly together not to run a new enterprise. Foreign direct investments. It means investment made by a company or individual in one country in the business interest in another country in the form of either establishing new business units or acquiring business assets in other country. It is called as foreign direct investments. Features of international business. Involvement of countries. So many countries are involved in order to run the international business. So international business can take place only when transactions occur across different countries. Use of foreign exchange. Where countries trade with one another, it has to exchange the goods and services on the basis of foreign currencies. Local and legal obligations. Foreign trade is to be conducted strictly in accordance with the export and import policy of the country concerned. So the consent of the government is to be mandatorily obtained with reference to the export and import of certain goods and services. So by way of legal obligations, we can do the international business. And then exposure to risk. International business expose huge risk on the parties that due to long distance, fluctuations of value of currency, obsolescence, etc. Heavy documentation work. So in order to run the international business, the documentation will be heavy. So international business necessitates fulfillment of a lot of formalities. So parties to international business have to execute a number of documents in the matter of conducting this type of business. Difference in economic environment. The economic environment of countries involved in international business differ significantly from one country to another country. So based upon that, we can do the international business. Next, rationalize weekend international business. Unequal distribution of natural resources. So countries across the world are not endowed with the natural resources of various types equally and equitably. So in other words, the natural resources are unevenly spread across the various nations. So the natural resources will not be an equal one, which it will differ from country to country. So based upon that, we can do the international business. Uneven availability of factors of production. So factors of production means land, labor, capital and organization. It will also not be an equal one when compared to different countries to run the international business. So depends upon the country, it will differ. So the availability of various factors of production, namely land, labor, capital and technology for producing goods and services differ among different countries. Specialization. Certain countries or some geographical areas of a certain country specialize in the production of goods and services due to some natural advantage like abundant availability of skilled labor, favorable climate conditions, etc. Cost benefit. Production cost varies significantly from one country to another country. Depends upon the natural resources, depends upon the factors of production, depends upon the climatic conditions. The cost will differ in the case of product from country to country. So based upon that, the business will run in international level. There are some difference between domestic business and international business. Meaning point of view, Domestic business refers to business transit within the geographical area, but international business is doing the business in worldwide. From one country to another country, the business will be functioning. Participant in business. People or organization within the country can participate, but in the case of international business, people or organization outside the country will participate in the international business. Mobility of factors of production. The factors of production like labor, capital, technology, and materials move freely within the boundaries, but it will be move from one country to another country. So move across the boundaries of the country. Nature of consumers. Consumers are spread within the nation in the case of domestic business. But in the case of international business, the consumers are to be spread throughout the world. Business systems. Domestic business is governed by rules, law, and policies framed within the nation, but it will be differ from one country to another country. Currency use. For domestic business point of view, only home currencies are to be used. That is, local currency are to be used. But in the case of international business, currency will differ from one country to another country. Mode of transport. For domestic business, they can use mostly road and railway transport in order to exchange the goods and services. But in the case of international business, we can use waterways and airways not to do the international business. Risk exposure. Risk involved in domestic business relatively less, but it will be more in the case of international business. Scope of market. The scope of market is limited to domestic business, but it will be enlarged very wide in the case of international business. Payment of excise duty. Payment of excise duty involve simple procedures in the case of domestic business, but it will be complicated in the case of international business. So with that we conclude this video. Students, you can go through all the points which are taught in this video. Write all the answers in your commerce assignment notebook. Send task complete message in the group between 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. today itself without fail. Thank you.